Yo, boys, this is Untitled Podcast, and we are HomeGround, where football comes home. It's been a while since we've done this, and a bit rusty, but we're ready to go. I'm Haikal, the host for today. I'm the Arsenal fan. Got Dom, the Liverpool fan, our stats guy. We've got Tiru, the United fan, wearing the Juventus shirt. It's been a before we begin, but it's been a very somber week for football, with the passing of the Leicester City chairman, and we share our condolences to his family as well as the other people on board the helicopter and their family, and we hope that they remain strong in these troubled times. Uh, and when it comes to football, right, the rule is always to be against each other. But when it comes to tragedy like this, we should all stick together. And rivalry goes out the window, rules go out the window, which brings me to the referee for the Leicester game. He kept the rules and gave a yellow card to Demarai Gray for celebrating. I think that he should have just taken the fine or the punishment instead. I don't know about you guys. You got something to say about the
For
referee?
what I feel is that the referee is conflicted because if he lets this go, he may have to choose to let others such incidences go. It may be personal reasons, maybe somebody relative passed away. He also says rest in peace, something like that lah. So he was still sticking by his rules and he's being very disciplined. So it was better to be safe than to be sorry. So the referee made I would say, a very bold but correct decision.
Yeah, I have to say it's a professional decision.
Professional
but
decision, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
It's a tragedy,
Tragedy.
yes, but I think even if the referee wanted to allow it, he would have been criticized for not allowing by his referee association. So it was even the manager said that it was the right decision because he shows the professionalism needed as a referee. Yeah.
I think it's a correct decision because obviously this can go to the FA and can be rescinded
Yeah.
under compassionate grounds. So I believe so,
I hope so.
and we hope so.
Yeah, we hope so.
I mean, it's been a tough time at Leicester City Football Club. With the chairman who brought in his money and his passion to the game, and eventually they managed to win the Premier League, which is a massive achievement for a club like
It was a
Leicester.
football manager achievement actually. Yeah.
So respect and our condolences to the family and Leicester City Football Club.
Yep.
Okay, so I get a lot of stick from him
Mhm.
and the director for always missing this out. All right, Fantasy Premier League, you guys are killing it, and but when I say killing it, is you guys are killing me because I'm not doing well, but you guys are doing fine in the league, and
I
as
believe
all-
I'm last.
and him too.
I'm not playing.
But yeah, the first is Darman Da Prabhu, the other Liverpool guy. 94 points this week. I don't know how he managed to get it, but congratulations to him. All right, moving on. Before we talk about our main topic, it's been how many games into the season? 9, 10?
I believe
Sorry.
it's 10.
Yeah,
10.
9-10 games. Or, yeah.
10 games. Good gauge for the rest of the season. So how do you guys feel?
11 games.
11 games,
Mm.
sorry. How do you guys feel about your clubs respectively? Start with I know you got a lot of things to
Yeah.
say. I'm gonna let you talk
Okay, let's-
briefly though.
Let's talk about Liverpool lah. So, I believe defensively we are playing better. We are the second least goals conceded team in the Premier League. We still haven't lost in the Premier League. We have lost 3 consecutive Champions League away games,
Mhm.
and I think we are doing okay. Just that Klopp is just being very cautious. He's tinkering with the squad. We don't have much squad depth to challenge other squads. I would say even United, City, Chelsea, we cannot compete with them. But so we have played 4 big games in the Premier League already. 4 big games, we've gotten 6 points, which is not bad out of the maximum of 12 points. We still haven't lost, so I think we're doing okay. Just that not very entertaining. Out of the 4 the attackers that we have, amidst them, in the games against the big games, they only scored 2 goals in 7 matches.
Mhm.
So it's not very good. But Salah has lost his shooting boots, so
Mhm.
maybe he needs to change his boots. That's my practical reason. And hopefully things get better. Now the other teams have to play bigger games. Liverpool have already played 4, which is already a lot. And maybe you'll start to balance now. That's my theory.
Mhm.
United.
I think United have somehow managed to scrap through with the game so far, especially against Bournemouth. Rashford scoring a late winner, etc. I think something's happening in United.
Second
Something's
half
happening in
team
United.
talks. The team
So,
talks.
But I think a lot of credit goes to Michael Carrick and the other guy, Keane.
I thought you were about to say Mourinho.
No, I think because Mourinho has already lost the squad, but he's somewhat gaining them back
Mhm.
with these two guys, and you can see that there's a lot of emphasis on attack right now. So I think that's a good thing to look forward to. So hopefully they get the swagger back.
Are you happy now?
Uh,
Happier now.
Happier,
Happier.
not happy. Happier.
Okay, that brings us to our main topic. It's about
Can I just
Arsenal
go,
FC?
can I go just go and get talk
Oh,
about
sure.
Arsenal, Chelsea,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, sure.
top 6? I think Arsenal. I think you will agree with me.
Yeah.
Unai Emery has been doing a great job.
Emery
I think
back.
they have been 12 games unbeaten.
12. Now it's 12.
Yeah, now it's 12.
Mhm.
So I think something's ticking there, except the fact that Ramsey's going to leave on a free, right?
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think they got a good team that's making things happen with Lacazette and Aubameyang. I think they're clicking, they're finding their feet, and I think they're in for a long run. They might be challenges at the end of the season. You might not know.
But Paul Merson came out and criticized. Actually, I kind of agree with him that I don't think so. We were prepared, but that the game against Liverpool proved me wrong.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
proved me
Mhm.
wrong. Not that I say that we'll get thrashed, but I don't think so. We'll be able to, like if we 1-0 down, I don't think so. We'll get back to 1-1. But we proved Paul Merson me wrong.
So just to update on Arsenal's form, that Arsenal now, I think they've gotten the home ground, the defensive element thing where
Mhm.
you take a lot of pride in the home ground. So Arsenal are now 29 out of 32 games unbeaten at home, which is impressive.
Our
Mhm.
stats guy.
Yeah, so it's impressive, and I think Emery, he's constantly what do you say? He's always telling the crowd to raise up the volumes. He's motivating them. Always, every single attack, every single tackle, he's always doing this and asking them to pump up the volume. And
Mhm.
the atmosphere is something that non-football fans will never understand. Footballers will understand because that's the one that pushes them on forth.
90
And
minutes.
I would think one of the main reason that this Lacazette managed to score was that drive never lost from his mind that he must score, and it did happen. So it's amazing that it re-emphasizes the philosophy of having a home game. So it's
Yeah.
good.
Makes me remember about Keane and Roy Keane and prawn
Yep.
sandwiches.
Chelsea, you want to talk
But
about?
Chelsea's I think Hazard is the main man for them.
Mhm.
Sarri-Ball, as they call their tactics.
Yep.
Kante has a new element to his game, and I think Jorginho is the main man
Yeah.
Mhm.
who's anchoring the midfield and has been the main guy who's holding everything in place while Hazard goes on his mazy runs.
Yep.
So and let's go down to Spurs. Right, a lot of people are giving a lot of stick to Spurs, especially Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville. Yeah. But with the new stadium coming up and a lot of money being pumped into that, but Spurs still perform.
Yeah.
And they are sticking at this moment. I think they're in the third position or something
Yeah.
right now. So that makes sense because they're punching above
Oh,
their
yeah,
weight.
fourth.
They're fourth.
Yeah, fourth.
They're punching above their weight
Yep.
in terms of things, and no transfers in.
Yeah.
You don't have any.
That's the thing about Spurs.
Yeah.
Nobody, okay, I know that there are Tottenham fans like recently, but nobody cares about Spurs. Generally, but Spurs is always there, always in Champions League, and always fighting
that's
for
been
top
like
four.
in the recent years, right?
Recent years
Yep.
lah.
That's what Gary Neville
nobody
was
cared.
saying. Spurs were like spineless,
Yeah, they were. So,
rubbish and everything.
like you see, even additional stats.
Mhm.
Harry Kane, taking the captain role, had to perform, and he did.
Mhm.
Harry Kane has in 14 games for Tottenham, he scored 13 goals, and he has 2 assists in Champions League, and it was mainly because of him that they came back and won
Mm.
the game. And
Yep.
That's what Tottenham does. They are always there, but you should never underestimate a Tottenham squad because they sometimes just pull out things out of their bag. Suddenly,
Yeah.
Champions League winning games and all this, you know.
A lot of credit goes to Pochettino.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
he's a tactician, masterclass.
I think they're probably just missing a player or two in order to win the league.
Because of the
Yeah.
stadium, I think they can't get.
Yeah,
the players.
not only because of that, because Carragher was saying that there's 29 million net spent,
Yep.
which they can pump in to buy another player. But you got to find somebody to fit the system at Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
They have a successful system now, with Harry Kane as the main man. So they need another striker who is able to fulfill Kane's role when he's not there.
Mm-hmm.
And the only person I know who can do that is 35 years old. He's in the US.
He used to play for.
He's the Swedish god.
Yeah,
Okay, so you need somebody to lead the line on his own.
Karate Kick master.
Zlatan. So you need somebody to lead the line on his own. That's the way Spurs are playing right now.
Yeah.
So and that's the reason with the Liverpool as well. You got three main front men.
Mm-hmm.
If one of them is down, there's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
shake up
Yep.
in
So
the
this is
tactics.
the crisis
Yep.
that they are facing now.
And you can't find like for like replacements.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very hard to
I
It's
find.
think
very
out.
that's the problem because these good managers want someone to fit into their philosophy and their game plan rather than
Mhm.
the team fitting into to accommodate one player. So it is good
Mhm.
and there's bad that you cannot get immediate results. For example, one man show, but they want to have that team spirit thing going on,
Mm.
which is good actually.
And three teams to watch out, other than the top six that we're
Okay.
looking at. I would say Everton,
Okay,
Watford,
West Ham.
West Ham is already West Ham. Then you can add on a few teams like Wolves
Mm.
Yeah,
and
who's came in with so much bang?
probably Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth. Okay, Bournemouth. The thing about Bournemouth is that whenever they play at their home ground, the pride thing goes into
Yeah.
their thing. They really take a lot of pride with their
Yeah, home games.
some
Yeah.
of the cherries. That's what
Yep.
they call themselves. So it's good that teams still respect their home ground. I mean, they came from somewhere, and then the
Mhm.
local fans respect the prospect of going to a home game, respecting the whole culture and atmosphere.
Mhm.
Is good. I think that is what that dictates. I won't say English football, generally football.
Yeah.
The fans make the game.
The 12th man.
Yeah, the 12th man.
Well,
yes,
this is
that's
what a lot of foreign players had to say when they first came to the Premier League.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
and this atmosphere can't be
We are
found
noisy
anywhere
bunch,
else.
Recently, Lacazette came out and said that something about Arsenal fans being silent, something like
Mhm.
that, as compared to when he was at Lyon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, waiting for Leeds United to come back.
Yeah, man, that would be awesome. Man United versus Leeds. Woo.
We're gonna keep the championship
Marcelo
topic
Bielsa.
Yeah.
in future.
Bisla. Okay, if I think additionally,
Yeah,
not many
carry on.
people know about Bisla.
Mm.
Bisla was one of the pioneers in terms of pressing football. So there's a
Mm.
Bisla pressing, there's a Pochettino press, there's a Guardiola press, there's a Klopp press, and Bisla's form of pressing is more aggressive. So
Mhm.
it kind of fit into the Leeds philosophy, and they are performing.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic actually to
And-
get
and
teams like that.
Pep
back.
has said that he learned from Bielsa.
Yeah.
See,
See?
so that's how good that fella is, and he has this way of setting up his teams in a position like 3-3-1-3,
Yep.
and every player is given a multi role,
Mhm.
not
Yeah,
just as
correct.
a forward,
Take
a
a lot of
striker.
responsibility.
They take a lot of responsibility, and I watched the highlights of the other game, where I think Leeds, I forgot versus who.
Mhm.
But there was a counter attack from the opponent's team, so the fella was racing through, and guess how many Leeds players dropped back and got back the ball?
6, 7,
Seven.
7.
So that's the desire that is installed in these players. So they will be a force to be reckoned with when they come back to the Premier League.
But that's the problem. Wolves also came in with a lot of recognition and a lot of bang, and now they
That's
could it be
a
a culture shock?
has to
Or-
say a lot about it, because the team that came through is not the team that's playing now. You have a lot of additions.
Yep.
The
Ah,
Portuguese,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
Portuguese additions that you have,
They
and
still have to
etc.
gel.
You still have to gel together. So it's pretty much a
Agree.
team that is in transition from their previous team. But I think Leeds will come through with the entire team and stick to their guns. They probably add a couple of additions, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna keep their team as it is.
The main-
the main boys will be there.
So what's the next one?
All right. So the main topic is about Steve McManaman. It's about David Beckham.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Michael Owen.
Uh-huh.
It's about Jermaine Pennant.
Okay.
It's about Wayne Rooney.
Jermaine Pennant. Oh my god.
It's about Steven Gerrard. It's about Frank Lampard. if you kind of get where I'm trying to go, it's English players playing abroad. And recently we had quite a number actually of English players playing abroad. But before we get to those players, and I'm going to ask you the first question of this topic, why English players rarely move abroad?
Rarely.
So now you mentioned a list of players, right?
Yeah.
Who move abroad. I'm going to remove Frank Lampard.
Okay.
I'm going to remove David Beckham. I'm going to remove Wayne Rooney
Right, why Beckham though?
and Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, but why Beckham?
Because these players went to the MLS
After
after they are
in
accomplishing
the
their main
league.
fair
things.
enough.
Okay.
Let's talk about like.
So you're
youth.
gonna put-
Are you gonna consider a youth?
No, we just generally talk about
Generally, okay.
players going overseas. So,
So you wait, hold on. You're gonna talk about Steve McManaman, Michael Owen. I mean generally Steve
Yeah.
McManaman, Michael Owen, and
Early,
Jermaine
early.
Pennant.
no, I'm going to
No,
talk
nobody
about.
talks about
No,
Jermaine Pennant.
You don't have to talk about
I'm just
Jermaine
making a
Pennant,
joke.
but we're going to look at the success stories.
Okay, success story.
By the way, guys, Jermaine Pennant, was it last season that he played for Tampines?
Wow, really? I think 2 years
I think a
back.
couple of years.
Couple of years ago, he actually played in Singapore,
Tampines
Yeah.
Rovers.
our country.
Hey, is it
Alright, carry on.
Tampines
Okay.
Rovers, yeah.
No, before we can look at the players like McManaman, Michael Owen,
Okay.
we have to look back at Ian Rush at Juventus,
Okay.
Gary Lineker at Barcelona,
Barcelona.
Mark Hughes at Barcelona, Mark Hughes at Bayern Munich.
This is
Gary
why I
Lineker-
posed
think
you the
Gary
question.
Lineker
You
is
know,
a
you
good
know your
point,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay, the main thing you see that English footballers, they grew up with the belief that the English Premier League is the best league in the world,
Then they get
Right.
bored of it. Or?
and they're very comfortable living the life as a footballer in England.
Mhm.
Okay, it used to be the case where you had to wash boots, you had to polish
Yep.
boots, and etc.
Slowly climb up.
Yeah, slowly come up the ladder from the boot room boy to a first team starter. But things have changed now. Youth players nowadays when they sign a contract, they're out in flashy cars and etc. But this is how the culture developed there,
Yep.
right? So these players are very comfortable with where they are. So none of them wanted to go out and test themselves in other locations, other countries,
Mhm.
because they always believe the English league is the best.
Mm.
And
True.
true to statement is the most watched league in the world, right?
Most supported. Yes.
So
Most
when,
important,
when,
most watched.
so when you look at players in Argentina, they dream about coming to Europe.
Mhm.
When you look at players in Brazil, they can dream about coming to Europe. But how many World Cups do they have
Mm.
between Argentina and Brazil?
Yeah.
Small.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So that's what I'm saying, because there's a desire to perform in another league.
Mm.
That is something that you have to instill in yourself. And the English players from a very young age, because of the lack of technical ability compared to the others in Europe,
Yep.
around the world,
Mhm.
for example South America, so they have an issue with complex.
Okay.
And when they finally make it to the first team as a substitute in a League Cup game or another game, probably because of injuries,
Okay.
then you get run out the last 10 minutes, etc. People
Mhm.
are expecting you to do something. They're thinking, you're a young guy, you're coming through. How good are you?
What is your bank
compared
factor?
to the Cristiano Ronaldo's, Del Piero's,
Yep.
etc. When somebody comes in, Del Piero had the same issue when he came back at Juventus, because he was the higher apparent to Roberto Baggio.
Mm.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pressure on these guys.
Mhm.
So most of them won't make it; they will fail because of the pressure.
True.
Okay. One I would like to highlight is Federico Makeda. He came from Italy.
Mhm.
He came to
United
Spurs.
legend.
He came to United, and when he came to United, he had that awesome game at Aston Villa,
Yep.
and a lot
then
was
last
expected
minute.
of him.
That was a
Last minute goal.
2-1, right?
Yeah,
2-1.
the last minute goal,
3-2
3-2, I think.
3-2.
Yeah. So a lot was expected of him, and people were thinking like he's the next Messiah,
Mhm.
and etc. Because the youth player comes through, and United has a tradition of youth players coming through.
Yeah.
So and that didn't work out. Okay, but now we have youngsters performing in Bundesliga.
Yep.
In the Bundesliga, right now. So that makes a lot of sense, because these players have stepped out from their comfort zone, went to another country,
Perform.
and made it happen. And if you think about it, we are thinking about English footballers, but everywhere else is players coming to their own league and moving on to bigger leagues,
Mhm.
like the Croatians, like Modric from Croatia
You see,
to Spurs.
talking about that, right?
Mm.
It actually, I would like to highlight about Owen Hargreaves, because
Mm.
Owen Hargreaves was not known in
Forgot about
England,
Mm.
but he was actually more recognized as a very solid defensive midfielder
Mhm.
from Germany, and through the exposure from Germany, he got into the national team. So that worked for him. So I
Yep.
think probably players like this, they know that the competition for
Yeah.
national. I mean, at the end of the day, the pride for nationality, the representing your national team is always in the players' minds.
Correct,
How many caps? Even if you after you retire, the first thing you want to see is how many caps this player got in Wikipedia or something like that.
No, let me highlight to you another example. Let's leave Owen Hargreaves out of the topic. Our current Eric Dyer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was about to
Oh
say.
yeah.
He's
I
from
wanted to say that,
Sporting
yeah.
Lisbon.
Yeah.
And
Right, he
other
grew up in
defensive
Sporting
midfield.
Lisbon. So you know the guy knows things that he grew up with this technical ability to perform as a defensive midfielder and a defender.
Mhm.
Whereas in England, the coaches anything there's a lot that has to be done for coaches in England. Okay, they're selecting players based on physique and size.
Yep.
You know, if this was not the case, Alan Shearer would have started at Newcastle
Correct.
from day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He
wouldn't
don't
have to
meet
go
the
to
criteria.
Southampton and then to Blackburn and back to Newcastle.
Blackburn, yeah.
So you know this makes a lot of issues in the selection criteria.
Mhm.
So we got players who want to perform in the top leagues in the world,
Agreed.
but in England the youngsters think that this is one of the top leagues in the world, so I'm going to break it here. I'm not going to move away from the comfort
Mhm.
zone. I'm going to be staying here. But what I like to highlight is Jordan Sancho. He left Man City
City,
to Dortmund,
Dortmund. Yeah.
and he's been on fire, like literally on fire.
Mhm.
And another player similar to the Jadon Sancho is Reece Nelson,
Mhm.
but the
He's-
contrasting thing is that he's on loan
Yeah, he's
to
on loan.
Hoffenheim,
Uh-huh.
and Sancho is on. He actually went on a free transfer, right?
Oh yeah, free transfer.
Free transfer to Dortmund. Dortmund is a capturer of youth. Emery Moore, Pulisic. Pulisic is also another example of a player playing in the foreign league, and obviously there's no exposure in the MLS.
Mhm.
So he's developing from I think from day one at Dortmund,
Mhm.
and then slowly he's still there. So he's about 20, 21. I
Yep.
mean he's still developing. So stats. So let's
Correct.
talk about Jadon Sancho and Reece Nelson. So these two players are attackers. Jadon Sancho is a winger, attacking midfield, left and right. But Reece Nelson is a forward, so he can play anywhere up front three positions he can play. So Jadon Sancho is immaculately talented in terms of technical skill, dribbling, pace. He, I think there was one of the under 21 or under 18 games where he was spotted playing for the one that won the
Oh, the under
youth-
17 World Cup, is
the
it?
World Cup. So he was the one that they say, who's this guy with the big hair? He's damn good. So it was actually Sancho. Then he was a Man City youth. Man City also has a lot of good youth players. So Sancho currently now he has 24 appearances for Dortmund. He has scored 5 goals. He has produced 7 assists.
Mhm.
He has 15 chances created, and he makes a total of 1.5 dribbles per game, 1.5 chance created per game. Reece Nelson.
Hold on. And he's Roy's best friend now.
Oh yeah, so they form a partnership.
Yep.
So hopefully Rose is not injured anymore lah. But they have got really good chemistry going in Dortmund. We will talk about Dortmund. So Reece Nelson for Hoffenheim, 10 appearances only, but he has scored 7 goals. This opportunity for him. So Bundesliga promotes youth. And most of the players by the age of 21 they already have like 200 appearances. So he has a avenue for him to be coming on as a substitute or even starting the game. So Reece Nelson, he's only 18. Sancho is also 18. Already 10 appearances clocked, 7 goals, 1 man of the match. He has a 90.5% passing accuracy per game, and 8 chances created. Same thing, 1.5 dribbles successful per game and 1 chance created per game, which is immaculate for English forwards in a foreign league adapting to the football, and the German football allowing them the space and the opportunity and the time to let them be as creative as they want to be. And it's good. They definitely cannot pull this off in the English league
Yep.
because everyone is also at that age and the same position fighting for substitution. And teams like German football teams allow youth players to prosper, and it's good.
That Reece Nelson stat, right? How many games was that?
There's only 10 games.
Yeah,
actually.
that's this season.
This season Hoffenheim 10 games, including some friendlies. So for Hoffenheim he played 10 games. He scored 7 goals.
And you know which position he played last season?
No,
Right.
last season I think he was.
Right wing back.
Okay, let's not talk about that lah. But
This comes to highlight 3 points, okay?
Yeah.
We let the people who are watching figure this out, okay? We're talking about players going overseas and etc.
Yep.
So when I was a kid, right, I'm watching like the Euro Championships and the World Cup.
Okay.
So when they announce the squad list, then you're looking at, let's say, Portugal. It's like Luis Figo, Barcelona, Rui Costa,
Sima.
AC Fiorentina. Then you got all these players from foreign clubs. Then you got local players from Portugal itself who are playing in Portugal itself. Then you go to Brazil, then you see players in the foreign leagues and the home league. But when it comes to England, everyone is from England,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So there's a tactical exposure that they lacked,
Okay.
right? When you look at the French
It's a
league, the
good point,
French
actually.
World Cup winning team that recently won the World Cup,
They're playing everywhere.
they're playing everywhere. So everyone knows what's the culture that the opponent teams brings in. Let's say if they're
Yep.
playing in Italy, and Italy didn't qualify for the World Cup, unfortunately. and
Poor Buffon.
Wrong pick.
So they know what is going to come in from these players. And the third point I'd like to highlight, this is one of the bad cultures that I believe in football. It's a bad culture, especially CDR. A lot of players who move abroad, like Zola when he left to join Chelsea.
Okay.
There's this sentiment that they have. The moment you leave Serie A to join a foreign league, that's you out of the national team.
Okay.
That's what-
The Jovinko thing is the same thing, right?
Yeah. Once you leave Italy, you're out of the Italian national team.
Understand.
Yeah. The only exception that I see right now is Marco Verratti.
Okay.
And that is quite recent.
Yeah.
And before that, Italian team, so solid, Matteo will not be playing. Roberto Di Matteo. Right? We have this culture that exists. So I think things are going to get very different. We hope more English players venture out to other leagues and give it a try.
All right. So, with all that stats that you compiled, are you actually surprised by the impact that those two players actually made?
Actually, I'm not, because I personally felt that Reece Nelson, especially during his pre-season friendly, he was performing extremely well, and I think the first doubt that came to my mind is his opportunity to come into the squad. The same issue that's happening is also for Marcus Rashford. So imagine Marcus Rashford playing for Dortmund, and then he gets the forward exposure, he gets the pace, he gets the creativity that he wants. He's a very good long shot taker, but he's not encouraged to take long shots. And he can play wing, forward, anywhere up front, but he's not given the opportunity. But imagine Rashford received the opportunity that he needed, and he would just breeze through the league. And that is a clear example. He's currently already having difficulties getting into the squad. You also have Anthony Martial, who's already developed from France, came down here. He's taken a liking for the manager, because at the end of the day, you bought someone, you have to play that player. And Rashford is developed by the club, but they become very laid back. They say, oh, this is my youth player, I don't need to show so much importance because I'm paying for someone, it is an investment. So that kind of mentality still exists in managers. But Mourinho is a totally different story. Let's not talk about him and youth. So yeah.
Anything to say before we have the last question?
No, this is something happens. When Cantona joined United, right? He brought a culture with him, the winning mentality.
Okay.
And it's a so-called brush off all the youngsters, the class of 92. So this is what you need. Either you get somebody to come in and groom your youngsters, or you go somewhere where you will get groomed.
Agreed.
Alright, the last question is it's gonna be a bit of fantasy here, but let's get the obvious one out of the way. Do you think Harry Kane will flourish at Real Madrid if he joins Real Madrid?
No.
Well, Harry Kane, remember what happened to Michael Owen. No, the case now is that there's no Ronaldo. Real Madrid are in that
Aging squad.
it's an aging squad that needs to be reinvented.
Okay.
I would say reinvented. And I don't think Harry Kane will bring the goals, because Harry Kane is bringing the goals to Spurs because somebody is supplying him with the balls.
Okay.
And that is lacking at Real Madrid right now. They can't seem to bring the ball into the final third of the box.
Okay.
Final third at the box. So I think if you think that Harry Kane is going to rejuvenate the squad, I don't think so.
I also don't think so. Actually, in my personal opinion, Harry Kane gets away with a lot of credit from other players. So the effort he puts into a game is always in the okay. I wouldn't say okay. If you compare a forward like Gareth Bale and Harry Kane, I would say that Gareth Bale puts in 70% or 75% of the whole total play when he was in Tottenham. Harry Kane is a sitting duck, so he waits for the chances, he scores the chances. So I wouldn't rate him as highly as how the media rates him. I would say that Harry Kane, if he goes to Real Madrid, he will end up being an Eddie Bayor. That's my theory.
I know
Because Eddie
Jimmy
Bayor
Pence.
is almost the same actually. You think about it, Eddie Bayor, it's a good finisher. He waits in the box. He's a good target man, which is practically Harry Kane. Harry Kane is not a. He's physically talented, just like Eddie Bayor. At the end of the day, the comparison is Harry Kane is gonna end up as Eddie Bayor. So, point taken.
All right, the next one I can think of is Barcelona to me needs a right back. Kyle Walker to Barcelona. Flourish, flop.
How old is Kyle Walker? He's
20.
actually
Let's forget about the age, but I think that he'll flourish in Barcelona.
Yeah, I personally think he'll fly because he's a very good follows instructions well, and look how he gelled in Man City just like that. And Kyle Walker is actually a very good right back. He's very disciplined. He has the pace. He's defensively talented, so I think he'll definitely cope. Especially for a team that plays attacking football like Barcelona, who requires their wing backs to play attacking flank play lah. So Kyle Walker will definitely shine.
He's already been he did well at Spurs.
Yep.
He came to Man City, so Pep has already instilled that Barcelona theory into him.
Yeah.
So I think it would be just adapting to the culture of the league and the culture of the country. I think it's a good fit.
So Kyle Walker will walk in the park in Barcelona.
All right, midfielder. Dele Alli. Can Dele Alli flourish outside England?
No. Dele Alli is very talented, but he has temperament issues. He doesn't have the pace to play, and physically, I don't think he can cope with foreign players and foreign leagues. They can be quite hostile. They can be quite physical. But Dele Alli is very talented, especially actually surprisingly, Dele Alli is a very good finisher, and there are people in the same position as him, even better than him
Yep.
in foreign leagues. So that will be a problem for him lah. He must have something else, and let's say even Rafinha or what's the Arthur from Barcelona. He's having a very very very
new
good
Xavi.
season. Yeah, the new Xavi. And what's the difference? He has to compete in the position to convince the manager that I'm not only the price tag, I have some bang factor, and it will be very difficult to convince, especially foreign leagues. They have a lot of attacking mid players, so it will be a challenge.
Well, I'm going to say that he will actually flourish
Okay.
if he's on the top with two defensive midfielders.
So
Okay.
somebody does the defensive work for
Yeah.
him.
The same system as he's having now at Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, last one. Joining Dortmund, Phil Foden.
Please go now.
Yeah. Get out of City.
You guys know that it's a rumor.
Yeah, it's a rumor.
Yeah.
Any
Apparently, Dortmund won 3 youngsters from England, so
so
He's one of them.
take them, please.
yeah, please. I really think Phil Foden is a FIFA 19 prospect, and not only that, he's an immensely talented player. Get out of Man City. You will definitely not make it into the team. Just go to Dortmund. Be a Sancho. You will do well. You will be you'll be blessed.
Well, Dortmund, if you can, please bring Zinchenko also.
Oh yeah, man. Oh my God. City is like harboring all the youth. Man. They also have a very good defender. I cannot remember his name. That one also probably can go to German. Just go to Germany. German football. That's the place where you'll
No,
flourish.
because German leagues, they don't have the pressure of being relegated. Because the club is owned by the fans,
Yeah.
right? When you get relegated, you're not going to lose like an entire lot of money.
50%, I think.
Yeah,
of the
you're not going to
board.
lose the entire lot of money or etc. There's nothing to depend on paying debts or loans and etc. So they will actually climb back faster. They're more stable as an economy when it comes to clubs in Bundesliga. Right? So that's the issue. You know, Jonas Hector, right? The left back
Yep.
for Germany.
Hector, yeah.
So I think he got relegated with Cologne, FC Cologne.
Couldn't,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah, and he's staying with them. And he just signed a contract after being relegated. So you know that he will get back up. They know what's happening.
Yep.
They know how he works.
Okay, before we talk about our special, which is the showdown, we recently posted a quiz. What was it about? Amazon.
Born in the Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, played in
He
Spain.
came up with it.
Played in Spain and England. I think rejected Real Madrid.
Yep.
He's known as the commander. The answer is Antonio Valencia.
Yep.
Not many people know.
We got two guys got it
Yeah.
right. One of them is actually my secondary school friend Amino. Congrats.
Well done, Amino.
The one is my cousin Vasanth,
Right.
who's a big
Congrats.
United fan, by the way. So yeah,
So I think he definitely.
Shout out to him.
Amino's also a United fan,
Yeah.
so no surprise.
Cheaters.
see, they're following
I
me.
Liverpool fan. Actually, I got it first, but it's
I told you the answer.
okay. Because I went to Google actually.
All right, we're gonna have a quiz soon again. Right. So our showdown for this week is managers. On one hand is Liverpool's current manager, Jurgen Klopp, the hugger. And the other is the guy that masterminded the 3-3 draw in the Champions League final, and in the end they won it by penalties, Rafael Benitez,
The miracle of
Istanbul.
miracle of Istanbul.
Gentlemen, pick your manager.
I'll let him go first.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, my argument is that Rafa, as respected as he is, he actually received a Valencia squad. So he received a squad from a Hudia squad. So Rafa's input into the game was tactics. Defensively, he managed the game well, but first half, let's just talk about Istanbul. So first half, they were actually losing 3-0, but it was individual players who rose up to the occasion, and obviously good team talks. As a manager now, he's struggling because he needs the squad, he needs the financial, at least some backing. He's not receiving it at all. So with at the end of the day, it comes down to like when you have a squad, example like Leicester, you do not have talent. I mean, you don't have world-class players, but with the squad, how do you manage it and how do you bring out results? Rafa is struggling in Newcastle. They have 0 wins.
No, they win. They won
Oh,
last.
one. Oh, yeah, one.
One win.
So one, but they are the bottom, is it? No, okay, they
Somewhere
are
near there.
relegation
Somewhere
there.
near
So
there.
somewhere there, they are struggling, and surprisingly, Newcastle has been very patient with him. But if you want to compare,
He has been patient with Newcastle as well.
yeah,
The board, the Newcastle
Yeah, the
board, not
board.
the fans. Not the
So,
fans. The fans are fantastic.
if I were to choose a manager between, Rafa or Klopp, I'll choose Klopp because Klopp plays a good attacking football, and I would rather have the attacking football. Maybe not the consistency because Rafa had the consistency. I would choose the attacking football from Klopp rather than Rafa's defensive mentality. Rafa had his rainy days also. He had very poor inconsistency, had trouble defending, and it was always back. So, yep. So Klopp, very bold. So I rather have the pressing football than to have the traditional.
Even trophies, because Klopp hasn't won and
Yeah.
Rafa won
Not
2
going to talk
trophies.
about the trophies though. So
Because the miracle of Istanbul, I don't know how he managed to talk them in the halftime. I think if he talked to me now, my life could turn around.
Well, I think it was more of the Liverpool away fans. The effect was from the Liverpool away fans
Fair enough.
who hadn't stopped singing even though they were losing 3-0.
Yep,
And that was the biggest point, the inspiration where they told him, like, remember these fans, they come here and all this. So the 12th man is an important factor, but Klopp has transformed Liverpool in a way where it's very tough to say this, but he has transformed Liverpool in a way where progress is far. It's coming. I would say it's coming. It's not immediate result, and he's still getting his squad. So if he gets his squad, something would happen. So that's my theory. But I would rather have the pressing football and attacking style. Sometimes he's careless. Sometimes tactically he's very risky. But I would rather have Klopp.
Alright, he's going for Klopp. You?
I ain't got a choice, am I? I'm going to say the best of Klopp and the best of Benitez.
Okay.
Good
Right.
point.
When it comes to Klopp, you have this Jurgen pressing,
Yeah.
as they call it. Actually, it's a pressing game,
Yeah.
but it's named after him because I think he probably gave rebirth
Yeah.
to the pressing game with Dortmund. And he's done a fantastic job with Liverpool, but he has been given the money.
Yeah, correct.
unlike Rafa Benitez during his time, right?
Totally brought the point.
Rafa Benitez had to let go Xabi Alonso to raise funds,
Okay.
to raise funds and etc. And we don't know whether he was forced to sell Torres or something. Was he the one?
No.
No,
So
yeah.
actually, the Xabi Alonso also,
Mm.
it was not he was forced to sell. It was also more of he was interested in another
Yeah,
player,
yeah.
causing insecurity in Xabi, who chose to leave. Torres was.
Who do you get? Aquilani?
He was interested in who? He was interested in Gareth Barry.
Yeah, Gareth Barry.
He was
And
interested in Gareth Barry.
who did you get?
We-
Alberto Aquilani.
Yeah, Aquilani, the little Italian prince, is it? I forgot
Yeah,
his name.
Little Prince.
Yeah, Little Prince.
Okay.
What a flop!
Okay, when you look at Benitez, let's look at track record. So he came as a little man in Valencia,
Won the
and he won the league.
the UEFA
Yeah.
Cup as well, right?
Yep. And then he came to Liverpool, and he did
He was very successful actually.
a good job at Liverpool. To be honest, he did a fantastic job.
From United fan,
from a United fan, he did a fantastic job with the resources that he had, with the players that he had, and the people he brought in as manufacturer, or people he brought in. And I would say that it's quite unfair to say this, but I think he's a specialist in managing teams that will finish just below first and second. On a rare occasion, they'll be able to win the league. When you look at something that you like to compare with the Atletico Madrid of today, under
Okay.
Simeone. So that was a time that Barcelona and Real Madrid were in transition, and Valencia picked.
Yep.
And to be honest, they had a fantastic squad
Yep.
that was capable of reaching to Champions League finals in a row.
Right.
That he got from Hector Copo. So the talent was there. He managed to make them click, and he came with a big reputation to Liverpool, and he won the Champions League. Right, he did not win the league, but he won the Champions League, and that's already a major
Actually, he was
factor.
very European focused. Yeah. Could it
And-
also be because he wanted the financial?
Yep.
You will never know, lah. I mean, just a
No,
conspiracy.
but the thing is that he's a cup specialist.
yeah,
He's a
yeah.
cup specialist,
Yep.
right? But he just couldn't make it happen in the league.
Almost, I think, once.
Yeah. And then I think he had a stinker at Inter and Real Madrid.
Chelsea also.
Yeah.
No, Chelsea was a short-term.
Yeah,
but
short
thing.
thing,
actually,
but
he achieved the Europa, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That season.
Something he won, something.
Yeah.
So
Give credit.
give credit.
No, but
Rafa
if
is
you,
always
if you ask me, he's been doing his job well at Newcastle without making complaints. What's
Yeah.
happening?
He's been very patient.
He's
though.
been very patient. He's been doing his job, trying to get Newcastle back on track and climb up the table slowly. Even with all the media attention on the sale of Newcastle United, whether it's going through or not, is Mac actually going to sell, or is going to just make money out of the
See.
fans and stuff? But I think, on an overall basis, Rafa Benitez is a better tactician than Klopp.
Okay.
Because when you take out the Jurgen pressing from Klopp, I think he's lost.
Yeah.
When you take away one of his three forwards, he's having problems rotating and adjusting the team.
Could it be that the Klopp's secret could be Buvak, having his
The-
right hand
Oh,
man,
yeah.
Buvak.
Buvak went off.
Without Buvak, actually this season has been slumping. I wouldn't say that is to blame, because there have been some games where he's performed very well, especially against Man City. We did cope well. I didn't expect us to. I mean, it was a tough game lah. So defensively, he has been getting in the players to play in the positions that he wants. Yeah, but the good question is that what if Rafa had the money? Who would he have bought? So
And what would have been the scenario,
yeah,
right?
good scenario.
Yeah. So I think that Benitez is overall a better tactician compared to Klopp, because he's able to make the team adjust to different
Yeah.
opponents without losing the identity that he
Good
has in his teams. So I think that is one of the good points of Rafa Benitez. So is Rafa Benitez 1 point over Klopp? Although I'm a fan of Klopp, I like his style of play, and
We
etc.
all
I've
know.
always mentioned that.
Always
That is-
wanted him
yeah.
to be. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
But
Let's not talk about it. Yeah.
but Benitez has something that is probably with age and maturity and whatever he's been through with his different clubs, has been through with Liverpool, Chelsea, Inter, Real Madrid, Valencia. All these things has, I think, shaped him to look at the game in a different way.
Okay.
Good.
So if you guys got any
Yeah, please do share. I mean,
anything you want to say, any comments, leave it in the comments. Yeah, we want to hear from you guys.
I want to say something
yeah,
about
go.
number twos. You mentioned about Buvok, right?
yeah, Buvak, yeah.
Nottingham Forest, when they won the European Cup,
Brian Clough.
Brian Clough and Peter Taylor.
Yeah.
Right. When United started winning, they had Brian Kidd
Okay.
and then Steve McLaren.
Yeah.
So I think number twos play a very big part.
No, that could be a very good topic
Mm.
future
In future.
episode.
Who's
the best
Arsene
number
Wenger's number two?
two? It used
Even
to be
Mourinho is
Pat
trying
Rice, right? Pat Rice.
because Mourinho lost his number 2. Right?
Which is a good thing. They lost the defensive
Rui,
approach as well.
Rui Faria.
Yeah.
They finally lost the defensive approach.
It was Rice and then Steve Pope.
Yeah.
All right. Before we end the show, we both know that you like Argentinian football.
Yep.
And there's something coming up this
Yeah.
weekend. So
So this weekend it's going to be the final of the Copa Libertadores,
Yeah.
which is the Champions League of South America.
It is
Oh.
like
For those who do not know, so the winner is the one who actually comes to the Champions
the Club World Cup.
World Cup.
oh yeah, yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So Copa Libertadores is going to be contested by Boca Juniors and
Legendary
River Plate.
club.
They are the fiercest of rivals and probably the biggest rivalry in the world. Right, based in Buenos Aires, both clubs. River Plate is associated with the a la Real Madrid,
Mm.
like the oligarchs,
Okay.
Okay.
and they have a nickname called Los Millonarios, which means the millionaires.
Okay.
Right? And Boca Juniors is the working class club, the club of the citizens, of the locals. Both of them have 30 odd league titles, even though you can argue a bit because the format of the Argentinian
Yeah,
league has been a bit messed up over
it's
the.
weird.
I think they've revised the format. I think 4 or 5 times.
5 times.
At one point in time, they had like two
two seasons
two
in
seasons
a calendar
in
year.
a calendar year.
And then one of them got relegated or something like that, right? Even
They
though
do
they were
not have a
champions the
lot.
previous
Yeah.
season.
Teams in the
Yeah. So the big teams in Argentina is Boca Juniors, River Plate,
Racing.
Racing Club,
Racing.
Was it
Body
Buenos
Cruz,
Aires?
Benfield. No, they are in Buenos Aires.
Oh,
Independiente.
Independiente.
Benfield, where Zanetti was from.
Is there Arsenal or something? Arsenal
Yeah,
Juniors or
there's
something? like
a Arsenal club.
Yeah.
Though. There's a
I don't think it's in.
Yeah,
that?
but
It's
it's
not
not-
Argentina.
It's not
it's,
Argentina. That's in Colombia,
Oh, my bad.
Colombia.
right? Argentinos Juniors.
This Vélez Sarsfield.
Vélez Sarsfield.
Yeah.
Better known for Jose Luis Chilaver.
Luno Tampines, HomeGround United, Tanjong Pagar.
Right, so it's known as the Super Clasico.
Stats? In some sense.
They have never met
Yeah.
in a final of the Copa
I do like
Libertadores.
stats.
Right?
Stats.
They have Boca has 33 league titles. River Plate has 36. Some famous players would be Oriol Ortega.
You-
Batistuta has played on both sides.
You mean in the
In River Plate,
River Plate?
Oriol Ortega.
Was it
there's,
Falcao?
Falcao's from there.
Mm.
From River Plate. The current manager is also one of the legends, Maceo Gallardo. And the opposing manager for Boca is also another legend for Boca. For Boca Juniors, Guillermo Brescalato. That's Martin Palermo,
Tevez.
Ronaldo. Tevez is playing for Boca.
Yeah.
He's going to
Oh,
make
he's
it.
still playing it.
He's still playing.
Actually,
Riquelme.
Riquelme is the
it's
ultimate.
the ultimate. So, Boca and River Plate have played few games head to head. So, out of the game, so Boca won 2 and River Plate won 2, and then it's a draw. Boca won 1-0, the latest fixture, but River Plate trashed Boca 3-1. River Plate trashed Boca 2-0.
It's
Well-
not trash 2-0.
Okay lah, okay, one. Okay, but okay, Boca trash 4-2 River Plate. So
Okay.
that was a good game, and then it was a 0-0 draw. So talking about Tevez, so Currently now Tevez is their top scorer, but obviously everyone else has scored. So in the league itself, he's scored 3 goals. So he has 2.4 shots per game. So very impressive striker. And in total, including the friendlies, cup competitions and all, Boca have played 19 games and they've scored 30 goals, 13.1 shots per game. River Plate, generally everyone has 2 goals, the striker. So there's no like specific striker. 22 goals in 17 appearances, 12.6 compared to the 13.1. Racing is 13.4. Their current
in the league, right?
Yeah, in the league.
And they're top of the league.
Yeah,
Racing
the
is
top of the league. So this game was Boca 7, 6.
But Boca 7, I
7.
think River Plate is 11th, I think.
Yeah. So it's a good competition because now it's purely rivalry and rivalry, and
This is pretty much like Barcelona versus Real Madrid.
it's a game to watch, like guys.
Which brings back to the first thing I said. I mean, one of the first thing I said in this episode. Number 1 rule of football is rivalry.
Yes. Man City is not rival with Liverpool. Don't try to make it happen, okay? So that's not the only derby that's happening this week.
Yep.
We have the Manchester derby, Man City versus
Are you-
United.
So Copa Libertadores is a 2-leg final.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be the last 2-leg final. Next year they're going to be a single final.
Single final, yeah. So Dortmund Bayern derby and anything else? I remember there were 3 derbies.
Was there Italy? Was there one in
I'm not so sure. Maybe this match is on the 11th of November for Singapore fans.
Forget everything. It's Boca and River for this weekend.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, that's good.
And who do you support? You support Boca Juniors.
Tell me, remember.
Alright. Is that all?
I'm just going to wait for Maradona to make his appearance. That's all.
Yeah, that's all actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Got no voice.
No, I got distracted by it, but I was hearing.
Okay.
Great episode.
Mhm.
It's been a long time since we did this, and we want to do it pretty soon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you guys got anything you wanna comment, anything that we actually missed out, or anything that you guys wanna say, leave it in the comments below. I mean, in YouTube and Facebook. Make sure to like us on YouTube and subscribe to us so you get our content whenever we release it. We usually release it first on YouTube.
And if you want us to do a topic, just comment
Yep.
so that we'll pick it up.
We'll pick and we'll discuss it, and we'll read. If you decide on that topic and you have your say, we'll even read it out.
Even
And-
if you want like Instagram posts or Twitter posts or even a Facebook post on some stats or comparison, just drop a comment to us, request it, we'll definitely post. Okay?
Yep.
If there's such stats lah, don't ask me to compare something. Okay, but just okay. We are always open to discussions and opinions, and we are a very welcoming page. So do share and comment and
Yeah, but don't forget
Support.
to share.
yeah.
So I'm just waiting for someone to comment and ask Dom for the stats on Rushton and Diamonds.
Yep.
He has it. I have confidence in him. Alright, before director kills us, that's all for this episode. Brilliant episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm Haikal signing out.
I'm Dom, the stats guy.
I'm Tiru, the historian.
Yeah.
And you support Boca this weekend.
They kill me for life.
Alright,
Peace out.
Peace
HomeGround.
out. HomeGround.
and done.
Yeah, it's a sad thing. Usually we never click record.
I click.